I'm going to just quickly run through the steps that you need to do to complete your image classification. You start by creating a signature file. Once you've got all of you're happy with all of your training samples that you have here in your training sample manager, you create a signature file, and this file is a special file type. It's a .gsg file type, a signature file that is going to go to your it's going to go to, I would send it back to the same folder that you've been putting everything in, so to your working folder. So I'm going to create a signature file called City 2008. Okay, and you can see it's creating, and I believe it's done with that. Sometimes it takes a moment to do that, but once you've done that, then you're ready to do your classification, and you need to make sure you know where your signature file is, where you sent it. And if you've selected your 6-channel composite image here in the image classification toolbar, and on the classification pull down, select maximum likelihood classification. And when you do that, you can see that pops in. You're ready to go there. You input a signature file, and here's the signature file that I just created. And you can see it's sending it to the default geodatabase. If you want to send it back to your send it back to your working folder, you can do that at this time. I would recommend doing that. And so I've done that, and you can see it's being saved as a raster data set. I save it, and then I'm ready to go. Say OK. You can see it's running, and it's going to produce a classified image. So now you can see I've successfully completed my maximum likelihood classification. It's popped into the table of contents over here, and I've actually done a little bit of work on it to set the colors to match my training sample manager, and I'm going to close the training sample manager for now, although I may want to come back to it. And I'm actually going to move my image classification toolbar up here and make it a permanent part of my workspace, because I just like doing this so much, right? But if you look at this is what the classification looks like, and you'll look at it, you'll go, this is kind of strange looking, but in fact when you look at it from the perspective of the whole city, you know, it is quite good. It actually did a fairly good job of doing the classification that we wanted. Doesn't do such a great job on the water, and for that reason I'm going to suggest that you do a clip of the classified image when you begin to present this in your final composition for you know, for your digital portfolio. Now you can do that clip with any of a number of, you can do it with any shapefile that covers this area. If it's a polygon shapefile, I would suggest, I've actually included a couple of shapefiles. There's one for Cook County that you can see popping in right there, and I'll zoom to that layer. And there's another one here for Chicago River watershed, which is kind of nice. I'll show that in blue just so that you can see more or less where that is, that I've included. And these are included in the bottom of the activity. Okay, so there's Chicago River watershed, and there's Cook County you have to choose from. Okay, and so to set these as clip polygons in the data frame properties, that's the layers at the top there, in these data frame properties, if you look at them on the data frame tab, there is an option to clip to shape, and you specify the shape, and you can use whichever shape you want. I'm going to use the and so you click the outline of features button, and I'm going to use the Chicago River watershed here, but you can use whatever you choose to use, and I do recommend that you use this for your composition. It's going to make a really nice composition in the end. Okay, and so we've set that, we apply it, and we probably even want to turn off the turn off the training samples. As you can see, the training samples here are are in the window. You can do that by opening the training sample manager. Opening the training sample manager and clearing the training samples. They haven't gone away. The file is still there. If you need to go back to it, you can go back to it, right? So there's my Chicago River watershed. I'm going to leave, you turn it off. Once you've clipped this, it's very nice. And you can do things like add a base map. For instance, I would suggest light gray canvas in this instance. And if you've had bad experiences with base maps, maybe this is a good place to get better experience. And you can see it kind of pops in, and then you actually, again, in the data frame properties, if you go back to the clip options here, you see you can exclude layers, and you can exclude the base map and the reference layers. Okay, so when I do that, I'll have a nice base map with my Chicago River watershed with classified land use there inside this polygon. So really nice composition that you can make once you start working with this in in your layout. I highly recommend this. I think you can make something that looks really nice here by the time you get to the end of this in a couple of weeks. So there you go.